Alright, so I have been wanting to make this video for a really long time, and since I had the time today, here we go. I am a natural brunette. I have been a brunette my entire life. I will show you a picture of my beautiful brown hair, but I have also been a blonde for a really long time, and I have been every shade of blonde you can think of, from like Daenerys Targaryen white to like that gross orangey color. No offense to those that like the orange color. Yeah, so I feel like I'm qualified to tell you all the pros and cons of being both a blonde and a brunette, just in case anyone is thinking of going either or. But before I get into it, make sure to like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. Alright, so I have a list. I also went on the internet and found other people's pros and cons, so I wrote it all down. Also, before I start, I want to make it very clear that everything I put on my list is strictly my opinion. While I was deep diving the internet, I found stuff that people listed as a con, and I personally thought it was a pro. So everything is just my opinion, my experience. If you don't agree, that's perfectly fine. You should leave your own pros and cons list in the comments. In case anyone is thinking of dyeing their hair, you can help them. But this is just all my opinion. You don't have to agree. We all have different experiences. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, so let's start with the blonde. The pros for the blondes are as follows. Pro number one, you can see your hairstyle better. Meaning, like, if you do cute little braids, you could see the detail of the braids so much better than when you're a brunette. Also, if you put little pins and stuff, like, I feel like hairstyles just look a lot better on a blonde than it does on brunettes. Like, you could see the details of it. Like these curls, for example, you can see it, versus when I would curl my hair as a brunette, it's kind of just all, you know, like, unless I had layers or something, it all just looked like, you know. The internet didn't agree with me on this, but in my personal experience, not to expose myself, but you can go a lot longer not washing your hair as a blonde than you can as a brunette. So, not saying I'm a nasty bitch and I don't wash my hair, but I'm saying that your hair just doesn't look as dirty and as oily when you're a blonde versus when you're a brunette. Like, I feel like I would have to wash my hair almost every day as a brunette because my hair would just look super oily, versus as a blonde. Yeah, that's a pro. Also, as a blonde, if you're white like me, you don't look as white. Now, I know what you're thinking. You look super white. Wrong. If I was a brunette, I would have looked a lot more pale. So if you're interested in looking a little tanner, or at least not looking as pale as you normally do, I think blonde would be the move. Also, I found this on the internet. A lot of people said that having blonde hair covers up your gray hairs more than it does if you're a brunette. So also, if you have thin hair, your scalp is less visible. So like, your hair doesn't look like super thin and you can't really see your scalp because you have blonde hair, versus how much you can see your scalp if you were a brunette. Also, in my experience, I don't have the best skin. I do get acne here and there, and I noticed as a blonde, my skin looks better. Obviously, it's not better, like, you could still see the acne, but I feel like being a blonde kind of just washes off your features. I hope I make sense. But I've noticed that, like, my features sort of kind of look bland when I'm blonde, because I feel like the blonde hair is already really distracting, so like, your features kind of just mesh away. I can't explain it, but the blonde is a bit of a distraction, and that could be a good thing because you might have acne that you're a little insecure about, so the blonde hair sort of distracts from it. And like, a good example in my case, aside from the acne, I'm a little insecure with my nose, and anytime I look back at pictures with brown hair, I notice my nose a lot more than when I look at pictures with me in blonde hair. So I hope I make sense, but anyways, that's a pro. Also, as a blonde, you kind of just stand out more. I know that's pretty f***ed up, but I've noticed in my experience, if I'm with my friends, and most of my friends are brunettes, I notice that people notice me more because I'm the one with the different hair color. Also, people think you're friendlier. Like, I've been told I look more approachable as a blonde than I do as a brunette. You just look more fun, and I think that stems from like the stereotype of like blondes have more fun. Wrong. Also, this could be a pro or a con depending on who you are, but you'd look older. Now, the internet does not agree with me on this. Almost all the blogs I've seen that talk about pros and cons for blondes and brunettes say that blondes look younger. No, I don't agree. I think like as a blonde, you just look older. So keep that in mind. I remember the last time I was blonde and then dyed my hair brown, everyone instantly was like, wow, you look so much younger. Like people told me that back to back to back to back. And I saw it in the mirror too, like I just looked younger. Okay, so now on to the cons. The cons to being a blonde. Number one, it is damaging as f***. It is damaging. I know there are tons of videos on YouTube that are like how to go blonde with no damage, how to bleach with no damage. It's all bullshit. I guarantee you your hair is gonna get damaged. Maybe not to like the extreme, but there will be damage. Imagine you have to like bleach it every few months, which brings me to my next con, which is the upkeep. Like you have to constantly upkeep your hair and like do your roots, do your highlights, and it can get expensive, which is the other con. It is so motherfucking expensive, and it's not just going to the salon, but it's the shampoos. You need the purple shampoo because con number 4. Your hair gets brassy over time. Like the more you wash it, it gets brassy. Like right now, my hair is pretty brassy. And not only that, but like if you end up going to the pool, your hair could possibly turn green. Also, your eyes look darker. So I have green eyes, right? And I've noticed that when I'm a brunette, my eyes stand out. Like people will notice that I have light eyes as soon as they meet me. But I can't tell you how many times I will be hanging out with someone and probably like the 3rd time we hang out, they'll look at me and be like, oh wow, you have light eyes. Like no shit. So keep that in mind. I feel like if you have like either hazel eyes or green eyes like me, blonde hair is really gonna just like wash that off. It's not gonna be as noticeable versus if you were a brunette. Unless you have blue eyes. For some reason, blonde and blue eyes always just pops. Also, people are gonna think you're a f***ing idiot. Like, I know that's super f***ed up, but it's just, I don't know, it's just been my experience. People will straight up be like, wow, you're actually smart. Wow, you're not as stupid as I thought. Like, get ready for those comments. People are gonna think you're an idiot. And again, it's because of that stereotype. Blondes are dumb and they're like bimbos. But like, that's not true, motherfuckers. Stop saying that to blondes. Also, people are gonna make blonde jokes. Like you're gonna be the butt of a joke. Like, God forbid you make a mistake or you say something or you're like, wow, I didn't know that. Somebody is gonna say a blonde joke and it gets f***ing annoying and it's offensive. Stop doing that. Also, this might just be me, but I feel like as a blonde, you can't really wear certain colors. Like, of course you could wear whatever you want. If you think it matches, fine. If you feel confident in it, wear whatever you want. But I noticed that I personally don't like wearing the color black as a blonde. And it really sucked because when I first went blonde several years ago, my entire wardrobe was black. Black everything. And I would put on black clothes and I just felt really, I don't know, I just felt like it didn't really match well. It didn't look good. And then I started dyeing my hair even more to look like Daenerys Targaryen. The black with the platinum I felt like it didn't look really good on me. As a blonde, I just put more thought into the colors of the clothing that I wear because I feel like personally not everything matches on me. You could wear whatever you want, but I just know that that's a con for me. Again, everything that I'm saying, these pros and cons, they're just my experience and my opinion. So it's like, please don't get upset. On to the pros and cons for the brunette. Now, number 1 pro as a brunette is that there is no upkeep. And I'm only speaking if you're like a natural brunette. Obviously, if you're a natural blonde or redhead, you would have to have an upkeep. But for me, as a natural brunette, no upkeep. That's an automatic pro. You gotta save money on the shampoos. You could shampoo your hair with whatever you want. Who gives a fuck? Because your hair is just not gonna get brassy. So that's an automatic pro. Also, your hair looks healthier. Like, it just looks healthier. I can't explain it, but the second I dye my hair black or brown, it just looks like nicer and it looks shinier. Also, your eyes look lighter. I was reading online, it said something about like black reflects light or I don't know, but I've noticed that whenever I have darker hair, my eyes just shine. They look way more green. Your eyes just like stand out a lot more when your hair is darker. Also, you look younger. Like I said, in my experience, the second I dye my hair darker, I look way more young and I feel way more young. Also, you could wear red lips. I don't know why, but I feel like the combo of like dark hair with red lips is just amazing. Again, that's like a personal preference, but I just added it to my list because it's my list. Also, any color clothing looks good. Like it matches. You don't really have to worry about like, oh, does this shade match with my brassy hair or my platinum hair or whatever. Like you could just wear whatever you want and it's gonna match. It's gonna look good. All right, so now on to the cons. Number one, your hair is gonna look dirty. For some reason, you could just see the oils in your hair a lot more. So you're gonna have to wash it a lot more often. And it's just such an inconvenience because you have to like plan out your day. For example, if you have something to do on Saturday and it's Thursday and you feel like washing your hair on Thursday, it's like, oh my God, I can't wash it on Thursday because it's gonna look oily by Friday night. And then on Saturday when you have to go to your thing, your hair looks oily as fuck. So you have to like really plan out when you're gonna wash your hair, unless you have like super healthy hair and you could just wash it every day and it doesn't really matter. I don't. So it was just like an inconvenience planning when I have to wash my hair. Also, yeah, you could use dry shampoo, but as a brunette, that looks like dandruff. You know what I mean? Which brings me to my other con. If you do have dandruff, you can see it. You could see that you're gonna be hanging out with people and then scratch your head and then go to the bathroom and be like, oh my God, nobody told me I had dandruff. So I've heard. That hasn't happened to me. Just kidding. Also, I used to be really into like doing cute little braids, and as a brunette, like I said, you can't really see it that well. So like you work really hard on doing like these cute little braids and you can't see it as much as if you could see it on a blonde. Same thing with like hairstyles. If you're big on like doing cute little hairstyles, you can't really see it that well, or like the details of the hairstyle versus you seeing it on a blonde. Also, if you have thin hair, you can see your scalp a lot more as a brunette. This is a huge con for me, but as a brunette, I just look super f***ing pale. I look like a f***ing vampire. I can't tell you how many times as a brunette my friends would be like, you should go to the beach, Mercy. You need a tan. You look dead. So keep that in mind. If you're pale like me, you're gonna look paler. Also, I put this in the cons section because again, this is just like my personal preference, but this could be a pro for you. And that is, as a brunette, your features show more. So like I said, I put it as a con because I'm not the biggest fan of my nose and I do have like acne. So I feel like you could just see that a lot more as a brunette. Yeah, I feel like because you have like darker hair, you could just see everything on your face more and it just like pops out. Again, if you got some nice features you're trying to show off, going dark is probably your best bet. Again, that's not to say if you're like a blonde and you have beautiful facial features, like no one's gonna see it. Of course, it's your face, like you could see my face, but I feel like it just pops more with dark hair. Also, if you're not a natural brunette or you have like light brown hair and you're going like black, when your hair starts growing out, it looks really weird. I know as a blonde, like look at my roots. This looks kind of bad. No, it looks bad, but it looks so much worse if you were a brunette and then your light hair comes in. It just looks so weird. I'll try to put a picture of what that looks like. I just feel like that's a con. That's like an instant con for me. All right, so that's all the pros and cons I came up with. If you have any more, please comment them in case anyone is thinking of picking one or the other. You can help them out with anything that I might have missed. Again, this is all my opinion. A lot of the stuff I found on the internet I didn't really agree with. For example, the blondes look younger, or like the red lips. I saw that was a pro for a blonde, and in my opinion, I thought it was a con. So again, all opinion based. And it's all my personal experience. Everybody has different experiences. So yeah, make sure to follow me on Instagram, like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.